always love when stars tell me about their meeting with Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, and sometimes when you meet them, some are very sort of reticent to share the secrets, while others, like this particular star, were only too happy to tell me exactly what went on when, of course, they came face to face with the most famous woman in the world. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. Thank you also for your very kind comments about some of the recent videos. I love the fact that this particular person wrote on the comments, "Oh Neil, I've now got Perry Como singing Magic Moments in my head all throughout the day." That's the thing about videos, stories, you know, news that we're bringing you. We just really want to cheer you up, take you away from yourself, perhaps look back nostalgically at some of the things that you remember. And of course, nostalgia is the latest boom, isn't it? Wherever we turn, everybody's looking back. Let's look to the future at times, because of course it's not as bleak as the media paints out. This particular story though really did warm me, as it were, because this star has been a star over here in the United Kingdom for many years, and in certain parts of the world too. His most famous role, of course, is in the comedy Only Fools and Horses, but he's appeared in everything from Shakespeare to light comedy, and of course is well loved by the British monarchy. We're talking about Sir David Jason. Now, Sir David Jason and I, have known each other now quite a few years, interviewed him many times. Got to tell you, in fact, before he became knighted, he stayed at the Dorchester Hotel because he said he didn't like to splash out, but he felt that this was the right occasion. Yes, that's right. A little bit like me, doesn't like to splash the cash too much. But on an important note, he said that when eventually he got to Buckingham Palace and he bought his new suit and everything like that, he kind of felt, that when you were going to be knighted, that it would be a bit like in the movies, And he said he was incredibly nervous waiting in the lineup because he said it is a bit like a conveyor belt, there's so many famous faces there. And then, of course, as he pointed out, so many people that are not famous, that have done far more deserving things than you've done, just being an actor or a performer, presenter, that sort of stuff. He was very, very humbled by it. But as he pointed out, as he arrived and he's suddenly standing opposite Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, he became rather nervous. And then, of course, they have this brief chat, and then she got the sword out and knighted him. Now, what made me laugh was David said, he was expecting like a fanfare and a big sort of words of "Arise, Sir David," like it is in the movies. He said nothing like that at all. She sort of said, "Oh well, there you go." And then, of course, he had a few words, thanked her, bowed and moved on. And he said, look, it was the greatest day of his life on a professional level. He said, but it wasn't at all like one would imagine as you see in the movies, like the old-fashioned Hollywood movies. David and the Queen, or Sir David and the Queen, and members of the royal family have been, well, very good chums now for many years, because as I say, he's one of our most well-loved actors, and of course still working today in the remake of Open All Hours. A lot of people say it's not as funny as the original, but it's nice just to have him on screen, and at least, as he pointed out, he's making comedy without profanity, negative sort of sidelines, no wokery or cancel culture. He's simply out there to make people smile, laugh and forget their troubles. And as he pointed out, he was so thrilled to hear that Our Gracious Majesty the Queen was a huge fan of Open All Hours and never missed an episode. And as he pointed out, unlike so many today, actually watched it in real time. And that was 7 p.m. every Sunday on BBC One. So now, at least, thanks to Sir David, you know exactly what the Queen is doing at that time. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.